You actually talked about that in next episode.
Let me start that just section.
Yeah.
Just going to do that. So Yay, you're here. Welcome to How to Be a Grown-Up with CK and GK. Let's get started.
Tuesday. I didn't really have a song, so I thought
I was like, what song is that?
I made up song.
It's my made-up song. I like it. We're so glad you're here. This is part 2 of decluttering.
Is that how you say it?
Sure.
I went to Spanish class 3 times this week, so
Hey-o. We're talking about part 2 of decluttering your digital life. Last episode, we tackled your computer, or at least some of your computer.
Right.
And today, I'm going into your phone.
Dun, dun,
Dun, dun, dun.
But first, with me, as always, is Caitlin, who we could call the New York Times, because it doesn't matter how much she spams me, I'll never unsubscribe.
Oh, thank you. Do I spam you a lot? I do send you a lot of memes, though.
I just can't unsubscribe from the New York Times because I feel like that's like unintelligent.
Yeah,
like,
no, I
got
gotcha.
This, like, that's what makes me smart.
I have to have it.
And worldly.
Then I swipe and delete it.
Right?
Day.
I don't always do the step of reading it.
Right. But it does come to my inbox. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's Jenny, everyone's favorite magically self-assured bird.
Okay, so we will talk about
you can see my face right now. Yeah.
But I had to give up the bird.
Uh-oh.
That is what we call a teaser.
Yeah, I'm ready. Oh, well, we have to do that
after the
first.
break.
Okay.
Stay with us and learn about giving up the bird.
Stay with us.
Not giving someone the bird. This is different.
As much as you might want to. Okay. Again, my sources for this episode are
the internet.
That Reddit thread. Yep. How to Declutter Digital Life in the Productivity thread on Reddit, and Digital Decluttering 101, a blog post by Life by Deanna. Her tips were especially helpful for your phone.
Okay.
So, yes. Okay, let's get into your phone then. Pictures. I basically am like rubbing my eyes and my temples for this entire episode because I know my phone is a mess. I don't even
know how many pictures I have. How do you find out?
There's space in your, I mean, you can go to your pictures.
I have 14,000. Okay.
Yeah.
That's more than I'm probably going to look at.
Ever. And they're taking up a boatload of space.
And I'm certainly not going to print all of those.
Heck no. I'm going to start by saying a lot of this is personal from my advice. So I highly recommend a picture backup app. I use Google Photos because it'll automatically sort by year, and because I can then go from there and put them into albums. I'm going to say pour yourself a glass of something you're going to sip on, again with the productivity music, and start getting ruthless with your deleting.
Ooh, ruthless.
We all take, you have to. We all take multiple pictures to try and get like the ones where we all look good and we're not blinking, right? You probably have those on your phone still.
I am definitely a take 1,000 to get one good one.
Yes. Actually, I was talking to my mom about this recently where we would take Christmas photos on the film cameras and she would have like 4 rolls of film just to get one good picture. That's what we're doing, but we're doing it with our phones, and then we don't delete them. Go back through and delete the ones you aren't going to keep. Like, if they're funny because some kid has a finger in his nose and the other one's like screaming, save that. But like the other 42, you don't need them. Get rid of them. Also, bursts.
Yes.
If you don't know what these are, it's when you like hold the button down on your phone and you take like a bunch of pictures at once. This is a common thing for kids to do when they're taking a picture of something. They'll hold it down and then you get there's usually one picture in there that you want. One. But get rid of all the rest of them. You don't need them. Okay? The Google Photos app will you can tell it to back up and it will make sure everything is in the Google Photos app, and then it will put all of your iPhone photos into deleted, and then you can just delete them all and they're gone.
Oh, wow.
And it's fine because they're all stored in the cloud and you can re-download if you need to re-download, or you can share directly from the app. Very helpful. There are other ones too, like Amazon has one and whatever. Screenshots.
Yeah.
Oh man, these are my kryptonite. I have started, personally for me, I started taking them and then I send them immediately to where they need to go. And then I just delete them because I know they will just be a mess. Or I'll put them in the notes app on my phone.
That is smart.
Yeah, it helps. And I have like one note that's just screenshots. And I just put them all there. If I plan to use a screenshot for the show, like there's a funny text where I want to save it, I will immediately upload it to Canva from my phone.
I love the Canva app. If you don't have it on your phone and you are a Canva user, pause the episode right now, go get the Canva app. It's so helpful.
Yeah. Anytime I want to make a design out of something that's a screenshot, I will upload it immediately to that. Okay. If you took a screenshot of a meme or you saved a meme and you're like, oh my God, this is so funny, I'm going to keep it for when I'm sad. Girl, no, you're not. Say goodbye. If you didn't look at it again, girl, bye. You're not going to look at this meme again because you think it's funny. Like, no, you won't. Everyone's like, oh, I have a pick-me-up folder. I just look at it.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. If it's a screenshot, no. Mm-mm. There's plenty of funny things on the interwebs. Go find them. You don't need that to cheer you up again. Okay? No. If it's an accomplishment or something, save it to the right place, but don't keep random screenshots on your phone. So bad. Okay. Speaking of memes, social posts. I mentioned this in the previous episode. Context matters. Did you save an ad because you think that item might be a great gift? If you did, fine. Just know that the algorithm is watching you.
For me, did you save if I post something on Insta and then my phone saves a copy of it and I forget to delete that, I'm like, I don't need this.
Oh yeah, no, that's bad. You get rid of those too. Did you save a post because it's a hairstyle you really want to try? Or did you just save it?
Which you may have.
Be prepared to answer those questions. Again, if you don't know why you saved it, it needs to go.
Yeah.
Okay? If it's one that you saved because you wanted to send it to someone.
Send it
to them. And then unsave it and move on. I am notorious for doing this. I will send 5 memes in a row to someone or more.
Yep.
Jenny.
No problem. Sisters. I do it too.
Because I've saved them and I've been meaning to send them to her. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I have all these ones I want to send her, so that I do it all at one time. That's what I'm doing. It's because I'm hoarding the funniness and I want to share it. So
because it was not appropriate to send it at 2:30 in the morning when you were up doom scrolling.
You wouldn't have cared.
No, I wouldn't have.
But but you would have been like, why were you sending this at 2:30? The other thing is with social posts, it's okay to unfollow people whose content no longer serves you and not to feel bad about that.
Yeah.
So if you used to find someone funny and you've now evolved past that type of humor, unfollow. You don't need it anymore. This one was hard for me, but I did this.
Okay.
Your favorite reality TV stars stopped sharing updates about their lives, and now all they're doing is just peddling crap you don't need. Unfollow.
Like it's your job. Throwback.
Like it's
Go back
your
and listen
job.
Last week.
Yep. Now, again, I have a caveat because you have to have caveats here. If it's your great aunt Herbina and she'll get mad if you're not following her anymore, just mute her.
Right.
She won't know. Just mute her. Okay? You don't need that stuff in your feed. Get it out of there. Your notes app. Please don't look in mine. Okay, thanks. Bye. If you're like me, you might have some pretty personal crap in here.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about what's in my notes app.
Either.
I don't think you do either. But this does tend to be a source of stress because it's like a digital sea of sticky notes.
Yeah.
I'm going to help you narrow down a few things of what you can get rid of and consolidate.
Okay.
1, does the note have a title? Sounds stupid, but listen to this logic. If you didn't bother to title it, it was probably a one-off.
You needed to write something down one time.
Particular moment. Yep. So you can probably get rid of it. If it's got a title, it's probably worth a closer look.
That sounds fair. That sounds also like for Google Drive.
Yes. Oh gosh. Oy. Okay. Can you merge the content with other notes? Like these one-off ones where you wrote down a book title that someone told you about.
Add it to your
have been meaning to
be read list and actually put it in
one
place.
Yeah, move it, merge it with the other note. That's fine. Or for me with the books, better yet, I'm going to add the title to my Goodreads account and click want to read, not lead, whatever. Good grief. And then I can delete the note. No big deal. Is the content super personal and or compromising in any way? For the love of Snoopy, get this crap off of your phone.
Especially if you have a notebook full of passwords sitting on your desk.
Shh, be quiet. Shh. If it's password stuff, put that ish in a password manager and then get rid of the note, please. Yeah. At the very least, retitle the note so it isn't obviously something super personal.
Right.
Thank you. Other phone apps. Because we have to talk about the Notes app and the photos separately because we know these are nightmare fuel. And yes. This is actually a tricky one for me because I have an Apple Watch too. So I started with my Apple Watch when I did this. And here's why. If an app I downloaded has the audacity to install itself on my watch and then send me alerts that actually tick me off, I am removing it from my watch, and not later. I'm doing it immediately.
Ooh.
I do not need an app telling me that there is now a sale on leggings during a work call on my watch. Are you kidding me? Absolutely not. Unacceptable. So you can go through your Apple Watch app and start removing the things that you don't need on there. For me, my watch is like, these are things I need to know about right away. Like messages from Sam's school. That's what I want there, right? I don't want Fabletics telling me about a leggings sale. Okay. The other thing I did was I made app folders.
Okay.
I keep all of my apps
He loves
on.
It's not for me.
On my home page. Hang on just one second.
But I do have folders in the sense that each one of my home pages like represents a different type of task. So for example, I might not have a photography folder, but I have like one screen that has all the photo apps in one place.
Does that not stress you out?
No, because if I put them in a folder, I might not remember what folder they're in.
Mega folder. Okay. So the only thing I'm an app folders person. The only thing on my second homepage is my business card widget. And that's because when I have a work event, I need to be able to just and get it. Right.
I have 5 homepages.
But everything else. Oh my God. That's so many. Oh, anxiety.
My second homepage. I have to count them.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So my folders they're a little bit more specific here because they kind of have to be, right? But all of them are sorted into folders. So I've got like a Sammy, my son, folder.
That's
things
smart.
that only relate to him. I've got a finance one. I've got a health one, etc. And all of them are sorted by frequency of use inside the folder. So if I have 15 health-related apps, which I might, the ones I use the most often are accessible within one tap on that first screen of 9. And then as I use them less and less, I have to swipe more to get to them.
Totally.
Does that make sense?
100%.
Okay. There are some of those apps that you like can't delete, right? Because they belong to the phone and you shouldn't get rid of them, right? I actually put these in a folder called utilities, and they are on the second and third pages of that folder.
I have those in a folder, and it's just called iStuff.
Yes.
You're so fancy.
Because you're not going to use them. Right. But it's because I put like all of the, you know, settings and other crap that I never look at in there. And that's, yeah. And then I took it a step further, and I just organized the folders alphabetically so that I could quickly find the ones I want, except for the utilities one, which is like in a space where I never push.
Like I might be judging you a little bit. You have the time.
That's fine. Judge away.
Alphabetize.
No, I didn't have the time.
Okay.
I made.
Did you all hear that? That was prophetic.
Mm-hmm.
I made the time.
I made the time. Again, though, I need to stress this, that the folder structure has to make sense to you. That's why I did it alphabetically, because sometimes I'm like, and I can't find it. So if I know that if it's alphabetical, then I know it'll be further down on the page. It's fine. Yeah. I've seen people who have a folder where this is the one where the apps they use all the time.
Yes.
Frequency of
John
use.
has that one that's just called most used.
Yeah. Totally great way to do it. You can name them whatever you want. I saw one woman who made hers motivational, like affirmation style. So like one of them says, I am healthy. And all of her health apps are in there. I am responsible. All of her productivity apps.
I could get behind that.
It was very, very
I might could do folders if I was telling myself how awesome I am.
Well, and my issue with it is like, I am a shopper.
I am well equipped.
I buy stuff. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I don't know. But it just has to work for you. If it's an app you don't use often, get rid of it. With the exception of things like an AED finder. I hope you never have to use that app, but can't hurt to have it on your phone, right? You can also see which apps you use the most often in your settings. It will tell you which ones you use and which ones you don't use. Fancy. And you can either get rid of them. Yeah, you can either get rid of them or you can hide them away. The other thing you can do now, at least on an iPhone, is you can remove the app without deleting your account. So you can remove the app from your phone.
So like I don't need the Groupon app anymore.
Oh my gosh, that's still on mine too. I used to spend hours on that thing. Are you kidding? So much good stuff. Before Amazon became a thing, a really big thing, that is.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the apps. The issue with the apps for me is not just that there's a lot of them, but also that they alert me a lot. And I don't like that. So this is where I went on a rampage trying to minimize the amount of alerts I get. I went through the notifications that I allow on my phone, and if an app isn't urgent, again, looking at you, Fabletics, or seeing the little red badge on the app gives me anxiety and makes me feel compelled to check it.
You told me about this, and I have turned it off on so many apps. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm. I do not allow badges on those apps anymore.
I do not need badges on Spotify letting me know that there is a new playlist available to me.
I do not need a badge on Fabletics ever. Also, Twitter, I took badges off of Twitter because it was so much. I could not handle it. And they are like, oh, you need this notification. No, you don't. And I actually went into Twitter and I said, stop showing me these kinds of notifications because I don't want them. You can do that too within apps. So just pointing that out. Facebook does not, it's not when I allow badges on my phone. No. Twitter, Threads, TikTok, Snapchat, all of the other time vacuums that I have on my social media folder, none of them are allowed to have badges.
Because you want to check it.
I don't feel compelled to check it. So that's why if you're someone who sends me TikToks and you haven't seen me in a long time and I have 42 messages from you, that's the reason. It's because I don't have
the alert set up, which
the badge
is amazing.
Yep. Is a good thing. However, things like my son's school communications app.
Sure.
Yes, there's a badge there. Okay. That's how the teacher sends me messages. So yes, I would like to know what's happening there. And I would like to know that I need to check that one. I mentioned this in the previous episode, but email badges. Did you know that if you have all of your email accounts rolled up into your mail app on your phone, you can customize which ones get to add badges to your
That is
total.
awesome.
So my work email doesn't get included in that number of emails that it shows up are unread in my app. Cool. So last time we checked this, I had 307, and that does not include the 42 from my work account because I don't want to be checking my work emails all the time. That's amazing. I just don't. So if I ever get down to inbox 0 in my personals, the unread emails in my work inbox will not count towards that.
Not count. That's amazing.
The nice thing about your phone is that everything with your phone's structure is customizable and flexible. You can update it anytime. You can restart alerts if you need them to be restarted. You can move an app from one folder to another if you are using it by most frequently used and you want to have it move up because you're sick of swiping to get to it. You are allowed to do that. Just make it work for you because there's no reason to stress yourself out over your own organization structure.
It's flexible. Okay? I love that.
Make it work for you. Now, because this is the part 2, I have to share some additional resources that I learned about in that Reddit thread a while back. So I keep saying make it work for you, right? It has to make sense in your brain. But some people are so overwhelmed that they don't have a structure at all and they don't even know how their brain would organize something. So there's a couple of books that I learned about by an author named Tiago Forte. They're both written by him. One of them is called the Para Method.
Okay.
And I'm going to read from the book description what para means. So Para Method, Simplify, Organize, and Master Your Digital Life by Tiago Forte. Para P Projects. Projects are specific short-term efforts that you are actively working on with a certain goal in mind, like completing a website or renovating your bathroom. Areas are the larger ongoing areas of responsibility like health, finances, that encompasses those specific projects.
Okay, I'm with you.
Yep. Resources include content on a range of topics you're interested in or that could be useful for your projects and areas.
Okay.
Archives include anything from the previous 3 categories that are now inactive, but you want to save for future reference.
Okay, so Para is P-A-R-A, projects, areas, resources, archives. Okay.
Yes. There's a book about that. So if you want to read that, that's one option. He also has a book called Building a Second Brain, a proven method to organize your digital life and unlock your creative potential. I know very little about this book. I did think that the Para Method sounded pretty reasonable. But if you're using mega folders, maybe that's how you start, right? Like, I don't know. Okay. So those are a couple of resources you might look into. Also, you can Google declutter and there's so many ideas there. But here are my final thoughts about this whole decluttering your digital life thing. In sum, for both episodes, okay? As someone with ADHD, I'm constantly thinking that some new tool is going to save my life. Enter the password book. I have notebooks. I have planners. I have password books galore, right? And I rarely stick to these
absolutely
things.
Not. This is why I have an easel on my desk where I put my planner every day. Otherwise, it wouldn't work because it would just stay in my bag.
Right. Now, if downloading that super awesome to-do list app that everyone swears by didn't work for you 2 years ago, don't download another resource thinking, oh yeah, this is the one. This one's going to be the life changer for me. Because it probably won't be, right? You've tried multiple things that aren't working. So don't download another thing and put all your hopes into that thing. You can go back to one of the ones you've already downloaded and see if there's a way that you can reorganize it to make it work for you. Or try something without one of those apps altogether. Put your planner on an easel. Use a sticky note. Be consistent with that every day. Like something else, but you need to stop pinning all of your hopes on this next item. Okay? The other one, this is my last one. I would consider digital decluttering a form of self-care. We've talked about this before. Self-care is not a spa day necessarily. It is a habit that makes you feel good about yourself. When you are in the habit of keeping, your digital junk decluttered, it's going to feel so
It's going to make your phone a lot less anxiety producing. It's going to make looking at your computer feel a lot less stressful.
Yes. If you can spend 10 minutes every Friday going through your crap,
you're giving yourself the gift of less cortisol.
Right. If nothing else, you just feel better because you don't have much crap on your phone, right? Like it will just feel good. So I would look at it that way, as opposed to like this mountain of tasks you have to complete. Work on one folder a day and see what happens. It will probably feel really good.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. Let's take a break.
2 cups coffee. I need pee-pee.
I need pee-pee. For links to resources mentioned in this episode, head on over to ckandgkpodcast.com/blog to find everything you need. And be sure to follow us on social media. Head over to your favorite social media network and find us at CKNGK Podcast. And now, back to the show.
Can I go full on Disney adult for a moment? We have a soap dispenser that puts the soap out in the shape of Mickey's head. And it just makes washing my hands so much more joyful. Okay, we're back!
Yay!
Okay, so just put the word basic right across the bottom of the screen. It's fine. Here's an alert for anyone who was born after the year 1990. You can just go ahead and skip your 15 seconds. My obsession right now is pumpkin cold foam.
Okay. First of all, we've talked about this before. Dave Grohl says, stop calling things guilty pleasures, because if it makes you happy, it shouldn't make you feel guilty.
Unless, of course, it's cheating on your wife, at which point it's a problem.
Fair point. Here's the thing. One, we shouldn't be surprised, despite the fact that he is in every other way a very good person, right? And probably still a good person, just made a mistake. But he's done this before. He has another child with his first wife who he cheated on. And that's why,
I know.
I'm not saying that people always cheat if they do it one time. I'm saying it's not out of character for this person to have done this. Now, back to what I was saying. The other reason that it's okay. The other reason that it's basic is because a lot of people like it.
Because it's good.
You're not alone. Right. You're not alone for liking basic things. So calling someone basic, like, okay, fine, I'll be basic, but
I'm okay with that.
Millions of other people like this thing too. So, and can we just please stop like shaming people for getting the tiniest bit of joy out of coffee? Right? Like why? Like why is it such a big deal? Who cares? It's not affecting you. You don't have to drink it if you don't like it.
Right.
Enjoy your pumpkin cold foam.
Thank you.
Love it. It's delicious.
And it has to be one of those things that like I only have every so often because it's a not low calorie.
No, it's really not.
Normally when I drink coffee, it comes out to about 10 calories because I put some non-dairy creamer in it. The pumpkin cold brew, cold foam, blah, blah, all the words thing is like 250 calories. So it's like a snack.
Yeah, I was buying coffee a lot over the summer, probably like most days a week, if not every day. And those calories added up. So now we're back to the home cold brew with a little splash of creamer in it most days, because I was like, this is bad. Anyway. Okay, my obsession is if you haven't watched it, I realize once again, I'm always behind the times, and that's okay. I don't care. Shrinking on Apple
my gosh. TV. Isn't it so good?
It is so good. It is so good. I am obsessed. It's so good. I haven't watched it since I was on the plane, so I'm feeling a little deprived here. But oh my gosh, I love this show. I love Jason Segel is so good. He's so good.
And it's Harrison Ford.
And it's Harrison Ford.
And it's like he's not playing a character. He's like, oh no, I'm just going to be me in this show.
I'm sure he's playing a little bit of a character, but
it is not for children, but it is amazing.
No, not even a little bit for kids. Not even the tiniest bit, but it's so great. And they're coming out with a new season.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yes. Season 2 is coming.
It's good. Mm-hmm. It is also an emotional roller coaster because much like all Apple shows, there's going to be something that pulls at your heartstrings.
I've laughed, I've cried in the same moments. Like hilarious, but also sobbing. Jason Segel doesn't get enough credit for what he does. He's so good. He's such a real human. It's so great.
Hello.
I love it. So great.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall is like one of America's classic films.
Oh, I love that movie. I can quote that movie left, right, center.
Dracula musical? Come on.
Peter, you suck. Peter, you suck.
When we went to Hawaii, we went to Turtle Bay.
So, when my sister got married and we stayed at like a Verbo it was literally down the street, and we went to Turtle Bay. And yeah, we had to, because it was down the street. That's where we went to the beach. We went to Turtle Bay's resort and when you walk in, it is not set up like it is in the movie. They moved the check-in desk to up against those windows when really it's right on the other side of you in the dark area. Anyway, doesn't matter. That is not the point. The point is shrinking is my obsession. This is what ADHD, friends. That's what this is. Okay.
So my gem of the week. I did a teaser trailer at the beginning of the episode. I had to give up the bird. At my school, which used to be our school, all the kids are sorted into houses a la Harry Potter.
R.I.P. Professor McGonagall.
Oh,
she was
good.
She was so great. Oh, also, I've seen the other post that was somewhere, if there's a heaven, she saw Robin Williams in heaven and said, "Hello, boy."
Oh,
I almost lost it on that one. So sweet.
Oh man, that's good.
I know.
Eek.
So sweet.
What does the kids say? Right in the feels.
Oh,
that's a good one. Okay.
Got me in my feels.
So we sort the kids into 4 houses, and each one of the houses has a mascot. Many years ago, somewhere in the neighborhood of 2018, which I happen to know for sure it was 2018 because it's when my son was born and I was mega pregnant at the time. I was put into the house whose mascot was a bantam rooster, which is a chicken.
I remember this. Yes, it is a power chicken.
A power chicken. That is the best description ever, and I'm gonna live in that space right now. Power chicken.
And you did the combs up thing. Yes. You made all the kids do combs up. I remember because I was still teaching, and I was I was part of this. Okay. I was part of the reason that you got sorted into a house. Yes.
And I had a little stuffed chicken named Ralph that was our mascot. He lived in a peanut butter jar, and the kids could pass him around. But because he had magical powers, you couldn't touch him. You had to touch only the jar. I really owned being in the chicken house. This was gonna be.
You were proud of that.
That's
chicken.
Right. And the color was yellow, and I was like, "All right, I'm gonna be yellow,
like an egg yolk." It was egg yolk yellow. Again, I remember because I was part of it.
Well, here's the thing: because I have departed and returned, someone else has taken on the role of being in the chicken house. And that person happens to be my boss.
Oh.
So she said, "I'm sorry.
You cannot be in the chicken house."
And we already have someone in Bull and Eagle. You must go to Tornado.
That's what I was in. I was Tornado. And they had green. Well, I made green their color.
I was dying because last night I'm sitting there saying, now I got to get a bunch of green clothes like I'm Caitlin.
You're welcome.
But
I made it green, and I wanted it to be a tornado because then I could just do a squiggle and draw it. It was awesome. And I used to make the kids go like this with their fingers and make a tornado.
They have a cheer. Geneva, Geneva, win, win, win. Geneva, Geneva, spin, spin, spin.
Hey, I love it. Way to go.
So I had to give up my role as Ralph's sponsor. And at A&M, we call it the mascot corporal. And I am no longer in the Trinity Chicken House. I am now in the Geneva Tornado House. But that is not even the gem. The gem is the games that we played at our most recent house games.
Okay.
We wanted to diversify the strengths needed to be successful. They cannot all be athletic in nature. Mm-mm. So in this most recent house games, there were 3 different competitions. The first one was a poster making competition. There were blank pieces of paper taped up around the space, and the kids who were more artistically inclined had the entire event to create a poster, and at the end were being judged. on like whose is the most
awesomest,
but like not just like whose is most artistic, but like had the most joy and spirit and blah blah, right?
Yeah, fair.
There was a robotics but not robot,
like a STEM
kind
of
a
challenge?
STEM-y sort of challenge, but it was basically like if a robot was made of humans. There was a track, a maze, if you will, that you have to bring a paper cup through while balancing a tennis ball on top of the cup. And the way you move the cup is there are 6 strings tied to it, like the legs of a spider.
Oh, and you had
6
to walk
different
with
people
them
have to drag the cup. The cup cannot leave the floor, and the ball cannot fall off the cup.
I like this. That's a good teamwork.
It was super fun, good teamwork, right? You have to really be able to collaborate to make this one happen. And then the final one, which I am so for, and I feel like we need to do every house games because it was amazing, was a mat surfing race. They are taking the mats from PE class, running, jumping, and sliding as far as they can across the floor. And it's a relay. So wherever the mat stops, you get off and the next person runs behind you and slams their body to slide across the floor.
Oh my goodness. That sounds so
fun. It was
fun.
amazing. It was so good. We did 8 versus 8, 7 versus 7, 6 versus 6. And then like there was a total of points. Now, here's the deal. When I got kicked off Trinity and reassigned to Geneva, I looked.
Geneva. Still.
I looked at my boss and said, that's fine, but I'm not going to be on a losing team.
Nope.
Guess who won the house
Geneva
games?
doesn't lose.
The first day that I'm on Geneva.
Hey, girl.
And I didn't even cheat.
Well done.
Much.
No. Go, Geneva. Yep. My heart will always be there.
So I'm about to get a green tornado tattoo. Not really. But like that would be funny.
You could get temporary tattoos.
Oh, made. I'm getting them made. And I'm passing them out to all the kids.
Yeah, you are. 100%.
I'm telling you, like the other teams are going down, especially Trinity. You cut me from the squad. I am going to the Super Bowl.
You were kicked out of the coop. You have to make sure. Tornadoes will scoop that coop up anytime. No worries.
That's it. I'm going to make a costume with, instead of the cow from Twister, it's just going to be like a chicken. Like
destroying you. Okay. I love that. Thank you. That was a nice little blast from the past and walk down memory lane for me. Okay, you ended the last one with a sweet one, so I'm going to end this one with a sweet one.
Oh, good.
We talked about this in an episode, the Appalachia high school tragedy. The more that these things happen, the more it affects me. And I realize that's kind of the opposite of what we think society is doing, where it seems to be that we're getting desensitized to this. But for whatever reason, every single time it happens, it just hurts me more and more. And I just sit there really upset and despondent over this. There was an extra like connection that I had that I don't need to share, but it just affected me a lot. And I just sat there sobbing over this, like really not okay. And my son, who I do believe is a very empathetic person, I don't know if he's a true empath, but he is a very empathetic person, saw me just like sitting there sobbing. And my cat like kind of walks up to me and he's like, oh, look, Ty's coming to give you a little snuggle. And I said, yeah. And then he goes, hang on. And he comes back with a tissue and he starts to dry my eyes for me. And he starts like gently patting this tissue down my face and across my eyes. Like,
and so in a way that like the floodgates are really open.
Oh yeah. Now I was like,
you're not gonna be enough.
Can you wipe my nose too? Because there's booger. Like, so sweet. So sweet. And I just like held on to that. I kept that to myself for a little while because it was just the sweetest, but I felt ready to share it today. So that's my gem. He's a sweet little boy. Yeah.
Okay. So you just mark this in the episode as one of the things that you might save in those digital files to go back and listen to whenever he's throwing a temper tantrum at HTV.
Or in our house, like he just did a few minutes ago.
No, please.
Yeah.
Remember, I learned that you can leave an entire cart of groceries at the store. They will put the whole thing in the fridge for you while you take your kid out to the parking lot and let them finish their tantrum.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Coolest
Bless
thing ever.
HEB. Yep. Bless them. Okay.
All right. Well, in that case, make good choices.
And your phone does not control you. You control your phone.
Yeah. And cleaning it is a form of self-care.
100%. Okay. Bye.
Hey friends, thanks for listening to the CK and GK podcast. Find us at CK and GK podcast on Instagram and Twitter, and rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Good Pods, or anywhere else that you pod. See you next time.